What's up, Misfits, and welcome back to another episode of Misfit Money. In today's video, we're doing part 2 in our series of explaining important concepts around the stock market using Call of Duty Warzone. In our first video, we explained the players and gave you an idea of how the game works, and today we're going to talk about the tools you have to play the game. Specifically, what are the most common types of investments you can purchase? Let's jump into it. If you're comfortable with words and phrases like FPS, line of sight, crossplay, and AFK, while words like mutual fund, trade, stop, and limit vaguely sound like a form of English you should understand, then this video is for you. The investing world has its own set of language to describe its tools of the trade, and I'm going to help explain these in a way that gamers can understand. Let's first start by talking about the most common types of investments that you can purchase in the stock market. They are stocks, shocker, exchange traded funds, also known as ETFs, not to be confused with EFT for all my Tarkov friends out there, and mutual funds. The way I want you to think about these is to imagine that every stock available to purchase in the stock market is the exact same thing as a single round of ammunition in Warzone. And what we're talking about today is how we want to package the ammunition together and what type of ammunition we want to use. The reason you want to think about it from this perspective is because a mutual fund and an exchange traded fund are simply a collection of stocks with a common element. Just like a mag of P90 ammo in Warzone is just a collection of small caliber bullets. The types of ammo and the magazine size you have access to in Warzone will vary depending on the type of gun you're trying to use, or if they have some other different common characteristic like stopping power. The same thing is true for mutual funds and exchange traded funds. You could have a smaller group of specialized companies, we'll say a collection of 30 green energy companies, and this would be like equipping the 300 blackout rounds for your M13 in Warzone. It's a specific grouping of ammunition with a common element. So let's use the different weapon types to explain some of the benefits or risks associated with the different types of investments. We'll start with a stock. A stock is a little slice of ownership in a company. Think of your stock like a sniper rifle only loadout in Call of Duty Warzone. If you land the right shot, that's all it takes. You can win the entire game with one well-placed sniper shot. If you miss though, your entire match can be ruined. Think about missing your shots or accuracy issues as problems in the market. It could be a bad management team for a company. It could be technology disrupting a specific industry. Think about the retail sector and Amazon. Or it could be something much bigger than that. Think about the pandemic we're experiencing this year. We're talking big risk with the potential of big reward. No bullet in Warzone is going to do more damage than a sniper bullet, just like no investment that takes off is going to perform better than a stock. If you're dropping into Warzone with a sniper rifle only loadout, you better be a skilled player and know what you're doing. You need to know everything about how that sniper shoots, what the bullet drop is like from certain distances, and you better have a plan for how you protect yourself if trouble gets too close for comfort. If you don't have those qualifications, then you're a fool for trying to Hail Mary your way to victory with some half-assed preparation like I'm jumping in with a sniper rifle. That's what going out and buying a single stock and only a single stock for your portfolio is like. When your COD buddy tells you they're dropping in with only a sniper rifle and they're not a good sniper, you have no problem going, this guy's an idiot. If the same person with no financial background tells you to buy XYZ stock, a lot of people go, I like money. And you tell your wife, hey, Greg said this is a great company. Look, if Greg has any profession other than a financial analyst with an alphabet of certifications behind their name, they're probably not the authoritative source you should be using to base all your investment decisions off of. Just like you wouldn't drop into Verdansk with only a Rytec AMR equipped because he told you to. If you're going to play the game, then you need to play the game within your skill set. Sniper only might not be your skill set. Let's move on to the next investment type, the exchange traded fund, or ETF, which I'll refer to as an ETF going forward because that's the most common way it's referenced in the investing world. An ETF is an investment that trades like a stock, but it's actually a collection of stocks that are bundled together and then sliced up and sold as a separate security. Think about an ETF as a pizza. Each ingredient to make the pizza is a separate company. Somebody takes all of the ingredients, combines them together to make a certain type of pizza. Could be Hawaiian, could be pepperoni, could be something even more exotic than that. Once our pizza master is done assembling all of the ingredients, or stocks, and putting them together, it then slices them up, which is where you come into the picture. Your ETF is going to be your assault rifle class. There's a lot of different options that can be customized in a lot of different ways. The assault rifle in Warzone can reasonably perform in most circumstances, but it's usually not the best available option in every circumstance. You can fight up close with an M4, But if you had your choice in a hallway fight, you'd probably want an MP5 or one of Nick Merck's fire shotguns. Your FAL will work from on top of the stadium, but you'd probably rather have something like an AX-50 or a car. The assault rifle gives you more flexibility than a sniper would when it comes to missing shots. Remember, those are problems in the market. But you can still find yourself in trouble if you've not accomplished your goal by the time that 30-round magazine is spent. You might be someone that spreads that risk out even further by getting an extended mag on your assault rifle, which would be an ETF with more companies in it in this context. But there's a trade-off when you do that. You might not be as quick and maneuverable as you could have when you do this. Investment types in the market work the same way. An investment with a larger collection of stocks is going to be more protection in a gunfight or bad economic conditions, and you're less likely to get caught off guard, like reloading midway through the fight. But if you're caught looking the wrong way, the hits to your maneuverability and your ability to adapt can really take their toll. So you need to be thoughtful of this when you're putting together your loadout. You might find midway through the match that you need to change the rifle you're using, or you need to pick up a second to respond to whatever's happening around you in the game. This is not different when you're investing. You might have a weapon you're comfortable with, but if it's your ride or die no matter what, you can't really expect anyone to feel sorry for you if you had the chance to change and adapt to what the game was giving you, to what the market conditions were giving you, and you didn't. Another thing to understand about an ETF or a stock is that they don't always trade at the actual value of their assets. They can trade at what's called a premium or a discount. Think about this like weapon hype. An investment can be overhyped like the best AR in the world and turn out to be a letdown. In the exact same way, you can remember about that old AK build you used to use that for some reason you don't have in your loadout anymore, pick it up and think, why did I ever stop using this? This thing is great. An ETF, like a weapon, can be overhyped or underhyped, premium or discount. The last investment type we'll talk about is a mutual fund. These are your light machine guns of the Warzone world. You might be slow, you might be unwieldy, but if you're pointed in the right direction, you can rain fire and brimstone down on any bad situations coming your way. In the same way, if you get caught reloading, it'll be about 6 to 10 years before you're ready to adapt or respond to whatever problem snuck up on you. A mutual fund is a big basket of securities, generally hundreds of different companies. Like mutual funds, in Warzone, you can find a bunch of different builds for your LMGs, but you'll start to find that the ones that are consistently viable have pretty similar characteristics. Sure, you can find weird builds with no grips or stocks using a thermal sight painted like a clown, and yeah, you'll find the occasional really cool clip of one of those going off on TikTok. But generally, that's a one-off situation. The funds that perform consistently over the years perform well for similar reasons. The strength of these types of weapons is the amount of protection their 100-round magazine offers you. They can be used to take down cars, they can be used to take down juggernauts, or even simply used to buy time for your squad of snipers and assault rifles to regroup and get their shit together. Just like in Warzone, not every kit is focused on offense. Defense wins games too. There are mutual funds out there that are designed to perform better in difficult economic circumstances, but they're not going to be the sexy investment everybody's talking about when the market is roaring. And if you think about the LMG class in Warzone, that's really a good way to describe it. Most people aren't out there talking about how great LMGs are and how they're the new meta, but there's been a lot of times that a green floor loot Bruin gave me an early game squad wipe and kept me in contention to go get the victory. Now that you've got a basic understanding of the types of investments available to you, you need to understand that you should be approaching your portfolio in the same way that you approach your loadout in Warzone. Sure, you might approach the game with a plan to use your favorite M4 loadout, but when the zone starts pulling to airport, you might feel like it's a good idea to add a sniper rifle to your arsenal. So pick one up. There's no rule that says you've got to finish the match with the same weapon as you started with. There's no rule that says you're not allowed to have an LMG and a sniper rifle to help you win the game. Just like there's no rule that says you can only own one stock, or one fund, or one ETF, or one type of investment. You're responding to the situation that the match presents you. The same is true for investing. Now you'll notice I said responding, and I didn't tell you to drop all your weapons and go fists only if things aren't going your way. You'd give your squad mate a hard time for whatever player just decided to dump all their gear and sit in the corner of the gulag to stop playing after they got eliminated. You'd tell that player to suck it up and get back in the game. Learn from the situation that led to their death. The same thing is true for investing. In the same way, deciding that you're done investing, you're selling everything, and you're buying 1950s collector lunchboxes, that sounds like a bad response to things not going your way in the market. Learn from the match, learn from your mistakes, make sure you're better prepared to drop back in the next time. Don't bet the farm on one shot. Certain guns perform better than others in different situations, The same is true for your types of investments in different economic environments. Oh, and just remember that when the game crashes, it crashes for everybody in the lobby, and there's always a chance that could happen unexpectedly. We'll talk more about portfolio construction and management in another video. There you have it, Misfits. There's part 2 in our series explaining important stock market concepts using Call of Duty Warzone. If you enjoyed the content, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified when part 3 comes out. If this was your first time stopping by the channel, thank you for spending some time with us today, and all my other Misfits out there. Take care.